Believe we're live. What's up, guys? We're at another episode of Inside the Green Room. I want to thank a few of the sponsors really quick. I can't do this show without you guys and the sponsors, so I appreciate them. They're all listed on the website. Head over to www.johnbartoloshow.com and go check out a complete list of all the sponsors there. If you want to support the show, please leave a review. Please tap thumbs up. Please like and subscribe. It means a lot, guys. It's the least you can do if you want to support the show. I appreciate the super chats and everything you guys do. Can't thank you guys enough for all the support. It means a ton. I'll be watching the questions coming in. We'll go a little bit longer today and see what comes. I'm going to get into some things. But first, let me thank a new sponsor that's going to be coming on that we've been working with for a long time. And we've developed quite a relationship, obviously, through the years. I go way back with, and that is Sig Sauer. So I want to thank Sig. I appreciate them. I appreciate everything that they do. I appreciate their support. Can't thank them enough. I have a lot of great relationships over there. I grew up not far from there, so I want to take a minute and thank them. Without them, the show wouldn't be possible. What's going on, Hammond? We're going to get into the fight. We're going to get into some debates about the fight, some talk about the fight. We're talking about the Tyron Woodley, Jake Paul fight. So we're going to get into some of that. And I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to give you both arguments, both ways, and see what we can see and any questions you guys have. Then I'm going to get into some past episodes, some upcoming episodes, some things that are going on, some great announcements. But let's start with the fight. Okay, and as questions come in, I'll do my best to answer them, and I'll do my best to kind of give you guys my insight. Here's the thing. I say Tyron Woodley didn't lose because he got paid. And Tyron probably made more money than he's ever made in one single fight. So for him, it made a lot of logical sense, obviously, to pursue that fight. So Tyron Woodley is a tremendous athlete, Wilson. So it's a tremendous athlete. Did he fight the way I thought a boxer fights? No. But he's not a boxer. He's a wrestler. Here's the thing, guys. Jake Paul has not fought anybody in his weight class, and he has not fought anybody that is of his skill level in terms of boxing. He can box. Okay, he can throw a punch. Maybe saying he can box is a bad thing. He can throw a punch. And clearly he's trained enough to be able to throw a punch. And he can throw a punch better than your average UFC fighter can probably throw a punch. Do I think Tyron Woodley's a better athlete than him? Yes. Do I think he out-used his athleticism against him? Yes, I do. I wanted to say out-athleted him. I don't know if that's even a word. But we saw some of that. Now, here's the thing. Tyron Woodley got $500,000, I believe, to fight that fight. Nobody's turning that down, okay? And it's an easy payday. So it makes a lot of sense for him to do that. Whatever you think of Jake Paul, I'm going to say something that's kind of profound and some people aren't going to agree with. Jake Paul is doing more for boxing, and he's doing more for the fighters in the pay, albeit I see what's coming in boxing, and they're not going to like it. The champions are not going to like it. What's happening in boxing is the biggest draw is going to win. And we saw this happen in fitness, okay, where guys were winning Mr. Olympia contests, and they had no sponsors, okay? They had no sponsors, and they're winning Mr. Olympia contests. And that's a dangerous thing, and it's going to make everybody up their game in terms of how they market themselves, how they position themselves, and what they do to market themselves. So pay attention to what's going on in boxing, because it's going to be a big change, and it's going to affect everything. And I think he's changing the whole way the game is played in boxing, and I think that needs to happen. They're figuring something out the UFC figured out a long time ago, which is a formula. Get these people that have enormous followings to bring the sport back. And I absolutely think he's drawing decent numbers, because he wouldn't be doing it if it didn't make money. Because if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Boomagum said, give Jake credit. Yes, give Jake credit. You got to give him credit. What he's doing is he's opening doors, and he's showing that these institutions should reward the following, and they should reward some of these people that are kind of trying to come up and trying to buck the system. Do I think it's all good if it continues to happen and we saw whole cards that way? Not necessarily. Because what happens, the skill starts to diminish. And the skill should always reign supreme, in my opinion. Now, as far as where he goes from here, I think at this point, a fair statement. Now, I'll give the contrary argument. I'll say something that I think Jake Paul knows in his heart but needs to hear. And that is, you need to fight somebody in your weight class and you need to fight somebody on your skill level. Okay? And if you're that skilled, you need to stop cherry picking UFC fighters that are on their last legs. And you need to stop cherry picking over the hill guys. Go fight a 20-something. There was talk of him fighting Tyson Fury's brother there that fought on the same card. There was talk about him. That would be an interesting fight. I mean, do I think Jake would win? Sure. I mean, but I think there's something there. But you got to give Jake credit. And I know a lot of people don't want to. I'm open to hearing the contrary argument. I'm open to all that stuff. But I think he needs to stop cherry picking fighters that are coming over from the UFC or from other areas for these one and dones. I call them one and dones, guys. Meaning, like, he's going to fight these people once. They're never, I'm talking about them now. They're never going to fight in boxing. Okay? You're never going to see Ben Askren fight in boxing. Okay? You're probably never going to see Tyron Woodley fight. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Exactly. And thank you for saying that. He does. He cherry picks. What's up, Steph? Cherry picks the fight. So I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate everyone who tuned into the live stream when I streamed the fight. And I can't thank you guys enough. It was a lot of fun. I got to offer some commentary, and I think we got away with one. So I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to come back to the fight because I have a lot of thoughts on the fight. I want to touch on Afghanistan. A lot of people have messaged me and asked me my thoughts on Afghanistan. I had not kind of formed my thought process on Afghanistan yet. Now, seeing some of the news come out, a lot of people have asked me, what do I think about the munitions being left behind? Obviously, I think everything being left behind was a terrible, terrible mistake and very poor planning. Okay? Are munitions left behind typically after a battle is fought or a war is fought? Absolutely. Because it becomes more expensive to bring those munitions home. Should we have left tanks and planes and everything there? No, absolutely not. I think there's a lot to fear, guys. And I don't mean to use fear, but there's a lot to fear. I think everybody needs to understand that there are some issues. I'll touch on the Russian ammo. I have some of that information. I think there's a lot to fear. We have a president that's fallen asleep in the White House while he's doing press conferences, while he's doing sit-downs with dignitaries and officials. So we have a president that's falling asleep in the White House. We have a president that's not taking questions by design, not taking questions. And everybody needs to pay attention to that because you're being bamboozled by your own press. So to everybody who voted for Biden, I ask this. Please, at least have the decency to say he needs to take questions. How he's not taking questions is fucking beyond me. But he needs to take questions. He's the president of the United States. He needs to provide answers. And the fact that all these things are going through a White House press secretary and another flunky or somebody else, because all these institutions, government or otherwise, continuously hire their nephews, widows, and idiot sons. That's all they hire. So to everybody that thinks we're electing the best and brightest and thinks we're nominating and we're putting the best people in the positions to succeed, we want to see these organizations do well. We need to look at ourselves first. The NRA is a disaster, a total dumpster fire. The NSSF probably is going to see SHOT Show get canceled, more than likely. Okay? It's probably not going to happen. So I think some people have to get their head out of their ass. Now, back to Afghanistan. I think it's a terrible thing what's gone on, and I've seen some of the videos come through, and I've seen some of the information pass by. It's awful. There's no way to justify this. I have no words on what I've seen. Okay? It's terrifying. And I think it needs to change. You wanted me to touch on the ammo. But first, let me take Hammond of Texas' question. $85 billion in equipment for the Taliban, yet I have a hell of a time getting 30-round mags en masse. That's pretty funny. We talked about that a little bit on the Rad's Arms episode. And I'll tie that in. I had Rad's Arms on, one of the biggest spoof channels in the industry. Hilarious guy. You got to check him out. Sean's a riot. We talked about some of this. Okay? Massachusetts is an absolute dumpster fire when it comes to gun laws. So I plead with Charlie Baker and the administration there to get a hold on it because it's ridiculous. So if you guys want to make changes, we have to work together as a team to get out there and initiate those changes. Send those comments. Make those posts, and support. Now, as far as the ammo situation, I'm going to get to the next question. John, would you mind touching on the Russian ammo and arms ban? I'm going through your questions in reverse, Hammond. I can touch on the Russian ammo situation. I have a bit of an expert in here, but I can touch on the Russian ammo situation briefly. And maybe my expert in here will chime in. But I do have a briefing on that. Yes. I believe it was a ban or an embargo or what do they call it? A sanction. Sorry. Why was I drawing a blank on that? We use that word so much. It's sanction. Now, what they could do is they could apply for a waiver. And that waiver would allow them up to so much ammunition over such a period of time. Correct. Without getting into specifics. Correct. September 7th. Can you talk into the mic, for Christ's sakes? Jesus.
All right. So that is correct. And for the time being, from what we've been told, everybody has till September 7th to file that.
Right.
So if you file it and it gets approved, you could say, hey, I want to import 5 million rounds.
5 million, yeah.
And you could easily import that 5 million rounds over the course of the next year if you want. But here's the problem. Last time they did something like this,
right,
they pulled permits that were already existing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we haven't heard of that happening yet, but it could have maybe already happened to some people we just don't know about. But from what we understand right now, everybody has till the 7th to file all their paperwork. To get permits. So if I file the paperwork that says, hey, I want to import, 5 million rounds of ammo, then I have that permit and that paperwork to import 5 million rounds of ammo. It doesn't matter if I imported 1 million at a time or 100,000 at a time. It doesn't matter. I have the permit to import 5 million rounds of ammo.
Right.
But the question is, are they going to approve it or not before the 7th?
Right.
So I'm pretty sure all these companies filed all this paperwork already because...
Oh, I'm sure.
They know how much they're going to sell over the course of the year. And if they get that paperwork in and it's done, then, effectively you can import ammo for the next year and not have to worry about it.
It's amazing.
Who knows what's going to happen if they're going to approve those or not.
Add Hammond of Texas' super chat to the broadcast if you can, Rory. So you're asking a great question, Hammond. I should have a member of Goal on an episode sometime. There's an open invitation to Gun Owners of America. Not gun owners. I'm thinking of GOA. There's an open invitation to the guys at Goal. I'd love to have somebody from Goal on. Here's the problem. A lot of those officials, if you notice in the past, I've had the leaders of the NSSF, I've had the leaders of NRA, ILO on. I talk to the leaders of these institutions. I've talked to them many times. A lot of times it's hard for me to get a mid-level or lower level player on because they want to control the messaging and the leaders want to talk. So I just haven't got to someone who runs that organization just yet. Sorry, I confused it with Gun Owners of America. I know what you mean. Goal is the Lawyers Association. It's the legal arm. Sorry, of defending yourself if you're in a shooting. They're the lawyers that you buy insurance for, and so on and so forth. So Goal's a very, very worthy cause. If you're not a member of Goal, I think it's very inexpensive to join. You should check it out. I don't know if the NRA offers a Goal add-on to their membership. You'd know better than me. I'm not 100% sure how they do it. But yeah, I know it's like an insurance that you can buy. I have it through the NRA, but I don't know that it's Goal. So
yeah, and there's also the
Gun Owners Action,
USCCA as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little pricey, but
there's a few subtle differences between them all. Yeah. But they all generally do the same thing. But I want to finish with that point. So, and I appreciate everybody that came over from the Nerdrotic channel. Love Gary. Appreciate all you guys. The Russian ammo ban, guys, just to talk about the ammo thing for a second. There's been a lot of fluctuations in ammo prices, ammo costs, and I've been very critical of the ammo industry, as we all should be, because I think we got played a little bit, and I think they used the situation to their advantage. And I think we're still getting played, but I'm still a firm believer that the Democrats at some point are going to attempt to put an ammo tax in place. It's what I would do. So That's what I think.
I mean, look at our brothers in California already.
Yep.
They're having to go through background checks and all this extra stuff. If you buy ammo out of state and they have the ammo shipped,
Now,
it's just they got to pay an extra fee. And
Sean said this, Rad's Arm said this, it's not going to happen at the federal level. It's going to happen at the state level. But what's going to happen is they got to catch on to that's what they're going to go after. And they're going to go after that because we fight the battles on the wrong fronts and we allow them to do it. And we just continuously have the wrong approach to how we would tackle the issues. And that's a byproduct of what a lot of guests have said on the show, and I want to highlight that. I had Ryan Bates and his wife, Diana Dahlgren, on. Great people. Ryan's a former Navy SEAL. She came out. I posted the clip, and she said it. She said, a lot of these 50, 60-something guys that are in these positions of being in charge, they don't understand the new mediums to which people consume information, and they want to continue to beat over the head the old way of doing things, and they don't want to conform, they don't want to change, and they don't care about it. And that includes production in other areas, too. And that's why we face the problems we have. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out that the ammo prices were raised at the manufacturer level during all this because they didn't give a fuck about you.
No. It was due to hunters.
It was hunters. It was hunters. Yeah, because Corleone said so. It was hunters, right?
Yeah, the guys from Nosler said it was.
Yeah, the guys from Nosler. It was hunters.
Yeah.
I don't know, those pesky hunters. They took all the ammo.
Well, they're taking all the ammo now.
Yeah. So don't listen to fools. Don't suffer fools out there. Please, guys, pay attention. This is why I say all the time on this show and everywhere, be careful who you support. Be careful who you throw your weight behind. Be careful who you tap thumbs up to. There's a lot of people putting some bullshit out there and trying to put it back on you. It is not hunters that caused the fucking ammo crisis. It is not hunters that caused the 7.62x39 problem and the sanctions. Okay? And they're going to continue to do these things because without the ammo, it's easier to go after the ammo than it is to go after the guns. Okay? And that's it. Exactly. Hammond of Texas just said a great point. He said hunters in their 2x20 round, they buy 220 round boxes of $270 a year. You can only shoot 5 rounds. You can only have 5 rounds in at a time on a hunt. Most guys who go hunting, everybody, I'll give you a clue, Corleone, you can tune in. They take maybe 15 rounds with them. Maybe. Unless it's a hog hunt.
Yeah, not to mention, too, I mean...
And if anybody's taking more than that, they're not admitting it because it's against the law.
Hammond's spot on. You typically, when you go hunting that year, you're only going to buy 2 boxes of ammo. Reason being, you're going to buy...
High end.
Yeah, you're going to buy 1 box.
High end.
You're going to use that 1 box to sight in your weapon. Well, I hope you don't need 20 rounds, but you're going to use that 1 box to sight in your weapon, get a good 0 on it, and then you're going to take that other box with you hunting. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Right. So I would have loved to been there when that whole confrontation happened between the Nosler CEO and Corleone when they said, oh, yeah, he didn't account for hunters. It's hunters.
Hunters aren't buying 9mm.
Listen, guys, put your boots on. You're wading through some bullshit. Stop it. You're better than that. And it's all going to change when SIG comes out with low-cost ammo and motherfucks everybody.
I hope they do.
I hope they do. It's only a matter of time. Go after them. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is I had some great guests on, guys. I don't know if you tuned in. We had Sean from Rad's Arms. We had Forrest Griffin on. We had phenomenal guests. As I said, Ryan Bates, former Navy SEAL, now owns Canoe Club Ammo. Just a super great roster this past week. I'd be crazy not to talk about a few of them. Who was your favorite, Rory?
I really liked Ryan a lot.
What a guy, right?
Yeah, I really liked Ryan.
He seemed like a solid dude. Him and his wife, great people.
Plus, he's running an ammo store online that's got great prices. I mean, who ain't going to love a guy that's giving you great prices on ammo?
Great guy.
You know?
Great guy. Now, I had a blast with Forrest because I love his sarcasm, but I had a blast with all of them, but I was never more pumped up than when Sean came on from Rad's Arms. And that's a little bit of an industry inside thing, but if you know the page and you know the guy and you know some of the BS he's waded through, what a character, right?
Right.
You know? And he is an FFL. And we got into some interesting topics. If you took a minute to listen to the episode, we got into how we'd like to see more of the FFLs talking, we'd like to see more of the CEOs talking, and we'd like to see some of that stuff. So we appreciate him. It was great to have him on. And, of course, Forrest Griffin, I mean, geez, what can I say, right? What a legend.
Who doesn't love the guy?
Yeah. And he's as funny as he was on the show. He comes at you. He's a blast. And if you know Forrest, he's one of the most happy-go-lucky, bubbly guys in the PI. Just a great guy. So go check those guys out. If you enjoyed any of those episodes or haven't tuned in, go check them out. And if you like them, leave a review. support the show. But I appreciated them, and it was great chats all around. If you didn't check in, we had a busy week last week. We had 3 episodes, so go check them out and support them. And we put a bunch of clips up on the YouTube, so if you get a chance, go check out the clips that we put available up there. I want to give a shout out to the Geeks and Gamers crowd. Can't seem to get away from those guys, and I don't want to. What great guys. If you get a chance, everybody over at Warrior Poet Society Network, go check them out. If you get a chance, everybody who's tuning in on the different channels, please go check out all the folks from Geeks and Gamers. And I want to rattle a few of them off. I know I haven't really done this. Go check out Drunk 3PO. Go check out Jeremy, D-Day Cobra. Go check out Ryan Kinnell, RK Outpost. If you haven't checked some of these guys out, go check them out. Whether it's on IG or it's on YouTube, they have phenomenal channels, and they're doing a great job. I also want to thank Gary Nerdrotic. Gary will be coming on the show. But when, I don't know. So to everybody in that circle, I don't know. Get on Gary's case. He's a tough one to wrangle, but I know he's coming out here, and I'm going to leave some slots open for him, and we're going to see if we can't make it happen, because I'd love to have Gary on. I talked to Jay this morning, Drunk 3PO. Shout out to Jay. Phenomenal time. I've gotten a lot of questions, tons of questions, about me posting the Biden falling asleep thing. I want to come back to that, okay? A lot of people ask me what I thought. Okay. And again, guys, when you send me messages like, what do you think? It's hard for me to come up with an answer to that. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And everybody should feel embarrassed. And everybody who voted for him should feel embarrassed. I believe that.
I think a lot of people are.
And I do think the worm is turning, guys. I think the media is figuring out that it's a lot better to make fun of Biden or get on his case or come at him. Do I think they're going to come at him like they did Trump? No.
I mean, just look at that last press conference, or was it the press conference for last series, where they were lambasting because he wouldn't take questions, and they finally...
He said, I'm not supposed to take questions.
He was going to take questions. Then he finally took questions, and then a couple times he just put his face in his hands while they were asking him questions. Who does that? Who
right.
just says, I'm going to put my hands in my face and just... completely avoid the... And they were softballing him, too, the whole time. It was a pre-approved question list or something they could ask him. They weren't even worth any substance.
It's embarrassing in many levels. It really is. And it's unfortunate. So I don't know what to say, guys. I don't have thoughts. It's hard for me to say, I think this. I think it's embarrassing. And I think people who voted for him should be embarrassed. And I think that there's going to be a huge referendum at the midterm elections. I think it's coming. I think there's going to be a huge change. I think people are going to vote with their feelings, and they're going to see where they're at. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't think I would say this, okay? I wasn't 100% sure I would say this, but I'm going to say it, okay? And it's not because I was a detractor. You try to give people a chance. That's the idea, right? We never got a chance with our guy because they beat the shit out of him every step of the way. They beat the shit out of him. Biden has tremendously disappointed us. And if you gave him a chance and you said, okay, let's see, you should feel tremendously let down. There is a lack of leadership. There is a lack of command presence. There is a lack of authority. There is a lack of organization. And I don't think anything I'm saying is beyond I don't think it's out of line. I don't think I'm saying anything that's on Blaze or anything that's, I don't think it's anything I'm saying is Newsmax worthy. I think it's just, those are the facts, guys. That's where we are.
Well, nobody wants to see the captain take the ship down. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of us were like, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Let's try to figure it out.
Hopefully everything, we all said it. You know what? We just hope it goes well and nothing bad happens. And here we are, just into his presidency, not even the
We're
first
in the
year,
shit now.
And we're already into it knee deep with Afghanistan, COVID stuff still, everything else going on around the world.
We're in it now.
Coming in now.
Oof.
And
wait for the winter. God forbid we have a bad winter and gas prices go up and you have to do snow removal and you have to do all that stuff, Rory. Watch.
That's worth mentioning. Not that he has a whole lot of control over all of that stuff, but the gas prices have almost doubled. We're looking at all kinds of supply chain issues around the globe.
Supply chain issues with everything.
Shutting down the Keystone Pipeline. There's a gazillion problems out there right now.
Yeah, and on the tech side, I know you've seen a ton of shortages.
Everywhere. Almost on everything.
Everywhere. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody who's paying attention, who sends in those questions, and everybody who asks. I don't have all the answers. I wish I did. Unfortunately, I don't. But I thank you for sending them. Keep sending them. I'll do my best to answer them. I want to touch on my stories. A lot of people message me about my stories. My stories are my stories. They are what they are. There's no rhyme or reason to them. I appreciate when you guys say, hey, is everything okay? Or, hey, how's this going on? What's up with that? There's no rhyme or reason to them. I want to reiterate that because a few people mentioned, hey, I love your stories. What does this mean? Or what is that? There's not a lot of meaning behind what I put in my stories, guys. This is really not a rhyme or reason. Especially on IG and even more so on Facebook sometimes when I put some stuff out there. It's just not a lot of rhyme or reason. I just want to put that out there. I want to talk movies for a quick second, and I'm going to talk about cards real fast. So I got the opportunity to try to update you guys on what I'm up to and what I'm paying attention to, what I'm watching, what I'm paying, where I'm kind of getting my information from or what I'm doing media-wise. So I'll do my best. I did watch the new Child's Play.
Ooh.
It's awful. Don't watch it. The 2019. Don't watch it. It's bad. It's real bad. I took the time to watch Aliens, the extended cut or the director's cut or all the cuts. I got turned on to that, and I watched the rest of them. I rewatched all of them. Such great movies. And I bring that up because to everybody that says that there hasn't been a legitimate female heroine in the universe and, it's too manly. Listen, guys, Ripley was the original badass. Okay? I refuse to forget Ellen Ripley's contribution to action movies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody in woke culture. And I know the Geek and Gamer guys talk about this a lot. I refuse. Ellen Ripley will not be forgotten. Okay? Watch Aliens. They should send a copy of Aliens to every director. Kevin Feige should watch it. Everybody should watch it. You don't need to be woke. We were woke back in 1980 whatever. Okay? Ellen Ripley, we salute you. Okay? So I appreciate that. Thank you. I want to touch on one other point. Okay? I've been opening cards in some of my stories. I've been building a little UFC collection of cards. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in for that. That's not going to be a big part of the program. A few people have asked me, like, you're going to do unboxings? Are you going to do this? No. So that's kind of that. Coming back to the fight, guys, to recap on the fight, I've seen a lot of fights in my day. Do I think that was the greatest boxing spectacle of all time? No, I do not. Do I think that Jake Paul's interesting and I think his arc and his journey will be interesting? Yes, I do. Do I think he's doing profound things for media? Yes, I do. Okay? I think he's going to open a lot of doors, but I think he's going to change the sport. And I think people at the top that have grinded out and worked for their titles, similar to what we see in Olympia and in bodybuilding and other areas, they're going to be really needing to focus on their media and really needing to start to up the ante because that's what he's forcing them to do. He's saying, I got a big following. I can throw my weight around in this. And he's doing it.
100%.
And to everybody that's out there that's a creator, okay, that sits in front of a microphone or does anything, they need to pay attention to what he's doing because he's laying a roadmap on how to take it mainstream. So you need to think about that. He almost broke down in tears when LeBron James retweeted something about the fight, and I think that was genuine. So you gotta, at some point, you gotta respect the hustle, guys. You can join in on the hate, but you gotta respect the hustle. That's how I see it. If anyone has any other questions, please send them. Thank you for the super chat. Hammond of Texas, appreciate all your questions and everything that you've said. A lot of people ask me how to support the show. Support the show by supporting the sponsors, supporting me. Anything you can do, tap thumbs up on this video, tap thumbs up on other videos, and go subscribe. We're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers here, guys. Please, I need your help. I need your help. Okay? We're trying. I want to touch on SHOT Show really fast. People are starting to message me about SHOT Show. It's the third week or last week of January, something like that. It's here in Vegas. A lot of people come out for it. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay? I think the NRA and NSSF are in deep, 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 deep trouble. Okay? And they haven't done anything to change that. Okay? Hustle brought him into a household name. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Hustle made him a household name. So you can't take that away from him, guys. You got to appreciate it. I want to thank all you guys. I want to thank everybody for supporting the show. Appreciate you guys. This was a little bit longer green room segment, but I hope you guys appreciate these. And if you like them, please like and subscribe. Please support by tapping thumbs up. I appreciate everyone. I have a couple travel dates on the docket coming up. I'm going to try to make it to a couple events coming up. I know of a few. There's a few with the Geek and Gamer guys. There's also a couple of events coming up that are around the shooting industry and things like that. So I am going to be looking at all those things. I'm going to do my best to make it to them. I know the 9-line event's on the radar. There's a few other things on the radar, so I'm going to do my best. I appreciate everybody. I can't thank you guys enough. Please like and subscribe to the show. Please support the sponsors. Please head over to the website. Thank you. We're out.